Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Idaho.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
May I offer you one of our finest selections? Delicious, rich in protein, and locally produced right here in Idaho. Excellent choice, sir.
Satisfied viewing customer, aisle 10.
Dad's home.
I'm home.
Did you get the good stuff?
He's bringing it up. He's going in. He scored!
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Hello and welcome in to another IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of the 2025 Idaho High School Playoffs on the NFHS Network. This postseason broadcast is presented by Project Filter, your local Toyota dealer, Your Health Idaho, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal Idaho College Savings Plan, the Idaho Bowl, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hey everyone, part 3. I'm Hayden Uhlenkott as well as Tim Silfalo as we get ready for the nightcap of our triple header at Old Bengal Field. This time, the 2A quarterfinals between Logos and Hagerman. Logos, the number 3 seed, comes in 7-2 on the year. Last one was a win against Oakley. They won 62-12 in a good matchup up in Moscow. Hagerman on the other side, 6th seed in the tournament, 7-3 overall. Played Potlatch last week, won 64-20. Logos is going to be receiving the opening kickoff. Tim Silflo, what are you thinking about the Hagerman Pirates as they get ready for this ball game?
Yeah, I think excited to see Kason Knight in this game. I think he's going to be a big game changer, and then obviously the big arm of Wyatt Mavenkamp. If he can get the ball down the field and hit some receivers and get Kason Knight involved early, And then the biggest thing, Hagerman's got to protect their quarterback and not let Logos get to him with their defensive pressure and sack him. I think that was kind of the biggest thing in that first matchup with them. But you go through that, they've had their fair share of tough games throughout this season as well. I think Hagerman's going to come into this game just as ready as ever, and they've got a high-powered offense that can definitely put up some numbers against this Logos team.
Absolutely. That's going to be the question. And can the offensive line protect against Logos's great D-line, Peter Story, Joshua Prince? They're the dudes that, had 4 sacks apiece when they played first game of the year. That was the difference maker in that game. Logos was able to pull away late and get that win 34-8. That's a game that we look back on is how this game could potentially roll. Like we mentioned, Logos is going to start out with the ball. And kicking off for Hagerman will be Jonah Knapp, the senior linebacker and running back. And we are underway in Old Bengal Field. Return by Logos, full head of steam, and a good return by the return man. That would be Oli Sundley. So first Logos offense. Logos is a team that had a quarterback controversy throughout the year. Baxter Covington was the man at first, and they switched over to Joseph Sensing. Sensing's now has taken over that role and has done a good job throughout this year with him at the helm.
Yeah, I think they kind of contributed maybe some of their early woes. I mean, they not necessarily losing games, but yeah, it took them some time to figure out who that was going to be. And you still see Covington come in every now and then, but yeah, Sensing's pretty much been the guy at the helm here now.
Covington comes in motion. And up the middle, Joseph Sensing, first play from scrimmage. 60-yard strike, Logos on the board. Now, if there's a opening result, if you were a Logos Knight fan, that would be what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's it.
A 61-yard run, Joseph Sensing up the middle on a quarterback run. That's something Logos does regularly and has the success there. Two-point conversion upcoming, 13 seconds into the ball game. They go to Covington. He looks to throw and gets the conversion. That would be to Sam Rigby. They hand it off to him, and he throws it on a little jet sweep pass for the 2 points. Quick score for Logos, and now Hagerman a chance to see how their offense may come on this opening drive. Assuming they can get the ball. That's also a question mark at times. "13 seconds in, Logos, 61-yard score. Joseph Sensing up the middle. As Logos will kick this one away, that's going to be Finn McCool. Finn McCool, one of the best names in high school football. Back deep, Kaysen Knight for Hagerman. And kicks away, a good one. Into that far corner, right at the goal line. Knight brings it down at the 1. He works to the far side and brought down at the 12. So that's where we will see Logos's or Hagerman's offense step onto the field. Throughout this broadcast, we will recognize power boosters, try to get as much as we can throughout, and again, appreciate all of the support we get from all the local, communities and businesses that partner with IdahoSports.com. So first down. Mavencamp shifts, comes in under center. Pitch at the far side. That's Knight. And dives forward for a gain of 6.
Knight on the carry. Knocked out of bounds after a gain of a couple. 2nd and 7.
Brings up now 2nd and 7 for this Pirate offense. Mavencamp on the run. Breaks a couple tackles. Still falls forward for a gain of 4, maybe 5.
Brought down after a gain of about 4. 3rd and 4 for the Pirates. Just outside the 20-yard line.
Third down and 4, up the middle.
Knight on the carry. Zane Holloway on the tackle. Got for a 1st and 10.
Hagerman moves the chains. First down and 10. Lots of pre-snap motions. Mavencamp rolls out, throws on a dime, has a receiver. That's caught and out of bounds.
Mavencamp's pass is complete to
Kaysen Knight again on the action. He's been everywhere. Or rather,
about the 38. Gain of 15 and a Pirate 1st down.
Cameron Clossy, is that who you were saying, Tim?
Yeah, I think that's Hagerman's numbers are kind of tough to see here, and I was pretty sure it was Clossy that came up with that.
I'd believe you. First down and 10. They hand off. This one's Knight. And Kaysen Knight goes nowhere.
Right down by a host of Logos players. Gideon Haney on the tackle. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Fumbled snap. Mavencamp stays on his feet, running out of pressure, running out of time. Moves forward, takes a hit. Wyatt Mavencamp, something out of nothing, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That could have been much worse for Hagerman than what it was.
Yeah, they got a massive break right there. I was just kind of hoping he was going to get away and maybe just huck it out of bounds or something.
Yeah,
but he got back to the original line of scrimmage. So
a play that could have easily been a 3rd and 20 is now a 3rd and 7.
Good display of his athleticism.
come to the line. 9:14 here in the opening quarter. Logos with the 8-0 lead. Play action, pop pass up the middle, finds his brother Will Mavenkamp. And he pushes forward to a first down. We'll see where they mark him. Now 4th down and a long one.
It'll be 4th down and a long one for the Pirates. 47-yard line.
Bill Hicks and his son Jake Hicks making sure they get a solid play here. This 4th down, this is big. Don't give Logos good field position. Look for the tush push. That's what they go for. Submarine play by Logos, and they get the stop. Logos turns back the Pirate offense and takes over in Hagerman field position.
46-yard line of the Pirates.
First down and 10 for Sensing. And Logos, as Covington comes in motion, they hand it to him on the sweep. And Will Mavenkamp right there. Great job as a defensive end stretching out the play.
Will Mavenkamp on the tackle. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
And they pitch it out. That's Ole Sundley. Sundley, lots of room. Gets past one man to beat down at the 10. Huge run by Ollie Sundley to the 10.
Santa Rosa, but a gain all the way down to the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Knights. Joseph Sensing on the carry.
Sensing goes nowhere on the first down play.
The tackle for the loss back to about the 12. 2nd and goal.
Across the middle, finds his receiver, Gideon Haney, right there in the middle of the field. Logos, 2 quick scores. Now 2-point oncoming. Logos' offense came out quick. Kind of has Hagerman shook up a little bit. Pitch out, takes a hard hit, and Sundley gets in. So, halfway through, Logos leads 16-0.
Yeah, like you said, just a really fast start for Logos. And sometimes you think about that, you get Hagerman long trip up. I'm assuming they came up today. I don't
They
know
came
that
up
for
yesterday.
sure. Oh, they did come up yesterday. Okay, well then that I was going to see maybe there's some bus ride car sickness still trying to get out of them, but they're a good football team. They can respond. They got to tighten down their defense a little bit here, but again, Logos loaded with a lot of athletes. They're very capable of quick scores just like this.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So how does the offense look good all the way up to the 50? Had a quick, couple plays from Mavenkamp, and Kaysen Knight was really the focal point, and then, yeah, just taking off, and this offense has exploded. So Now 16-0. How does the Hagerman team respond? It's, really on a roll as of late. Beat Potlatch, lost to Raft River the week prior. But after the loss to Logos and Kendrick, it had ultimately rolled throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
So now Finn McCool to kick off again. This one's tracked down. And that's Cameron Colossi on the return. He gets a good return to put Logos or Hagerman just short of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I think you can still feel okay being down 2 scores. If it turns into 3, you can start getting a little bit more nervous. Two scores in 8-man football is very, very manageable, and it can turn around fast.
Well, second drive of action, Hagerman under center. Far stretch play to Kaysen Knight, and just a defense that strings out everything. Gain of nothing for Kaysen Knight there.
A yard on the play, 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 8. They hand off. Again, Kaysen Knight just getting a workload of this first start of the quarter. But I agree with Coach Hicks here. You have to establish a run game. Even though you're down in a hole, you can't just avoid everything.
Yeah, agreed, and especially with an athlete like Kaysen Knight, you've got to keep the ball in his hands, and like you said, establish that run. If they can get a good run game going, opens up the play action, and then you get to see that arm from Wyatt Mavenkamp go to work.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 for Hagerman. Take the trap roll out. On the run, scrambling, looking deep, almost intercepted by Asaph Greaser. And now brings up 4th and 6. Do you punt here, Tim, or do you go for it? I think you kind of go for it, but I don't know.
It's playoffs. Go for it. Go for it.
Nothing to lose. .549 in the first quarter. Big play for Hagerman. And the ball moved ever so slightly, and that's going to back up the offense 5 more yards.
Now I might punt it.
That might be the solution.
Maybe you'll see a fake punt. I haven't seen a fake punt in a long time.
Hey, we haven't. No, we don't see many punts. I don't know if we've seen a punt the last 2 games, Tim.
No, we haven't, have we?
Looks like it goes away up. And Greaser's going to get a crack at it. Cuts inside, breaks a couple tackles, still spinning, and now brought down at the 35.
Take this time for some power boosters. Hagerman, Farmer Funeral Chapel, Hagerman Automotive, The Roof Resource, Spring Cove Ranch, Vitaglow Aesthetics and Infusions. At Farmers Bank, they've been making life easier for families and businesses across the Magic Valley for over 100 years. Since 1917, they've been a tradition you can count on. They are proud to support the Hagerman Pirates. Check around and you'll choose Farmers Bank. Go Pirates.
First down they go up the middle to Sundley, and he gains 6. And now a hurry up tempo for Logos.
Second and 4.
One more time, Sundley outside, finally dragged down by Xander Senarusa, but gets the first down first.
Xander Senarusa on the tackle. Official timeout for injured player.
You know, I'm curious if Genesee won or Wallace. Wonder how that game finished out.
Yeah, it was a nail biter last we checked.
Holy Sundley walking off the field slowly. Rolled up his ankle. Looks to be all right. It's a big loss, but when your Logos get quite a bit of depth to have behind him, there's going to be a lot of other running backs. Justice Mallory will get some reps. Or rather, Honor Mallory. Justice is his older brother.
First and 10 for the Knights.
It's 52-46 apparently in Genesee, but we went backwards in quarters. We lost time. I don't know. We're gonna
I'm
have
not
to.
sure if we're at a final or.
We're gonna have to pull it up on NFHS and find out. Do some multitasking. So first down and 10 from the 48 for Logos. 4:50 here in the opening period. And a good push from Logos. That was Baxter Covington. Typically, he's in the slot. Or rather, that's Honor Mallory, definitely. Mallory was the aforementioned that we thought would probably get some time in without Sundley. Second down and 4. You go to Sensing, loses footing, and comes up short. You know, the field looks good out here from our vantage point, but, you know, darn near 90 minutes of action is going to play quite a toll on a field with 6 teams playing on it.
Well, and then as it starts to cool off, then some of that moisture is going to come up and make it a little bit slick.
They pitch it out to Covington. Gets the first down up around to the 45.
Right down by Casey Knight. He's all the way down to the 36-yard line. He has 9 in a first and 10 for the Knights.
.330 here left in the first. Logos still driving. Sensing gets a block, far side, gets to the edge, and then kicked out just short of the first down. Gain of 9, though, for Joseph.
28-yard line. Gain of 8, second and 2.
Now second down and 2. They go to Honor Mallory, nowhere to go. Good defense there by
Honor Mallory on the carry.
Hagerman. Adam Nelson there, and on the tackle.
Adam Nelson on the tackle. No gain on the play. 3rd and 2.
Third and short for Sensing. They pitch it out. Good pitch. Covington gets to the edge to the 20 and 10. Tight roping down to the 5. And another great run. You know, at some point, Joseph Sensing, he's starting to take quite a few huge hits.
Yeah, that's the last game we covered with them. I noticed. I mean, he just gets hammered and hammered and hammered, but it doesn't seem to bother him too entirely. Every now and then he'll come out a little gimpy, but he goes right back in, and pretty tough kid.
Sensing tries to get around his defender. Can't do so. Up to the 5. 2:15 left in the quarter. Logos still driving.
Well, and just like that, now he's limping off the field.
Now Covington takes over.
Toughness.
Yeah, Covington now takes over quarterback 1 rolls. And he'll have to lead the group. Then Logos will take a timeout on the field. 2:15 left in the first quarter. They lead 16-0 and are driving down the field.
Kick off your game day right at Bullets and Brew in Hagerman. Fuel up with fresh espresso, delicious pastries, and breakfast to go. Perfect for busy mornings. Catch all the football action with great food, cold drinks, and a full selection of local brews. Guns, ammo, gifts, coffee. It's your one-stop shop for everything you need. Support the team, enjoy the game, and shop local at Bullets and Brew. Call Automotive is your choice for your complete gas and diesel auto repair. They are ASE Master Certified and have been serving the greater Hagerman community for over a decade, bringing more than 20 years of experience with diesel and gas automobiles to the table. Come on down to 901 Rocky Road or give them a call at 208-837-4466 and let them take care of your every automotive need. Call Automotive is proud supporter of Hagerman Athletics. Go Pirates.
So Logos loses their starting running back and quarterback within a matter of minutes. And now the 2 backups lined up right next to each other. Covington and Mallory. Covington looking to throw. Wobbly, but finds pay dirt. Ace Greaser with the score, and now Logos just building.
Yeah, it's really the last thing Hagerman wanted to do is go down 3 scores right here.
A really tough spot. Now you have to play from behind and have to throw. So 2-point try with Covington in the backfield. Takes it on a run, looking to throw. A little too short, comes up. No good. 2:10 left in the opening quarter. Logos leads 22-0 over Hagerman.
Fuel up like a pirate at Swenson's Market. Hot deals, fresh produce, top quality meats, and a bakery and deli worth cheering about. Right here in Hagerman. Swenson's Market, local, loyal, and proud to back the Hagerman Pirates. And since 1969, Kelly Oil in Buell has been the area's most trusted provider of farm and home delivery of gas, diesel, and heating oils. They can deliver in cases, buckets, drums, and even bulk. If you don't have one of their fuel cards, stop by 1313 Main Street in Buell or give them a call at 208-543-6192. All the employees at Kelly Oil wish the Hagerman boys good luck this weekend at state playoffs and congratulate them on a great season. Logos. Norm's Glass, Panhandle Heating, Forged Construction, Forge Excavation. The team at Erber Auto in Moscow want to wish the Knights the best of luck in the state playoffs.
Finn McCool to kick off again. And a strong run by Kaysen. He really powers forward. Just reminds me, of the last, Tri-Valley. Very similar. Just powers forward, turns the legs, keeps it moving.
Yeah, we got to watch Hagerman and Kendrick in the early in the year. I was impressed with Kaysen Knight then. I've been really hoping I was going to get an opportunity to watch him again here later in the season to see how much better he's gotten over the course of the year.
They go to him one more time, losing his footing. Can't get vertical. Logos blows it up. Under 2 minutes now. No, you speak of Kaysen Knight. I was talking with Coach Hicks, throughout the week. I was talking with him on his way to the game. That's a whole nother story. I'll get to it in a second. But he mentioned Kaysen Knight. This is only his second year playing football. He's a sophomore. Maybe it's his third. He played in 8th grade for his 8th grade year, and then played last year. So he's really getting starting quality reps now. Still learning how to hold on to the ball, take a handoff, all sorts of those things. And he's become quite the difference maker for Logos and just a game changer with his speed as they look out to Maven Camp for a nice pass. Complete it now, third and 3.
3rd and 3.
Under a minute. Same spot though as last drive.
It's an interesting stat, if you will, on Kaysen to only have that kind of experience. Most of these kids now, they come into their freshman year with 5 or 6 years of football under their belt already.
They pitch it out to Knight. Tries to get to the edge again. Can't find it. Logos right there. Gideon Haney, first one there. Now 4th down and 3. 25 seconds remain in the quarter.
4 to 3 at the 45. No gain on the play.
That's one thing. Haven't really talked about Logos' defense. They're a pretty stingy defense. They fly to the ball. They're physical. They only allow 13 points a game. That's pretty impressive, and that's coming from the likes of a Kendrick team that averages in the 70s, and they held them to 48. So, no, a really respectable Logos defense.
No kidding. Well, we just hit the end of the first quarter, so we'll take a break. Come back on IdahoSports.com. Logos with the 22-0 lead.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
We're back here, start of the second quarter. Huge play for Hagerman. It's 4th down and 4. They need to get this first down to continue their drive. Maven Camp, empty backfield. Looking for an out route. Finds Kaysen Knight on their own sideline. Gets the catch, moves the chains.
Slips down at the 49-yard line. 48-yard line of the Knights.
So Hagerman's drive carries on. Right past their Logos 50. Maven Camp, 2-step drop, looking deep, has a receiver just outstretched, looking for Kaysen Knight. Thought for a minute he was looking for Jace Levitt over the top of the defense. He had a step on his defender. Wasn't quite looking his way.
Maven Camp's fun to watch when he gets the chance to set up in that pocket and really let one go. The kid can throw that football.
100% there. No 2nd and 10. Rolls out. Finds Levitt. And 6.
Reacher on the tackle. Gain of 4 to play, 3rd and 6.
Third down. They're completing passes, just not for a lot of gain, you know what I mean? Not a lot of yards putting on it, but you're building confidence with Wyatt and his receivers.
Yeah, and then you get the Logos defense kind of accustomed to some short routes, and then all of a sudden you maybe run a double move and get over the top on them. And
Levitt comes in motion. Now Clossy looking to throw, finds Knight. Knight bouncing off defenders up to the 32.
Pass complete to Ryland Salaz. Brought down at the
Clossy with another good, or rather Knight with another good gain. 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. Logos' only 2 losses on the year came to Kendrick and Camii. They fake the sweep. They go on a draw. Case and Knight up the middle. Very good vision.
Knight on the carry. Baxter Covington. Zane Holloway on the tackle. Second and
you got to have vision like that. And again, back to the only played football just a couple of years. You don't just learn that overnight.
No. It's a lot of time, probably a lot of film. Or you're just born with it.
Just a freak athlete.
2nd and 1. Rolling out to Wyatt. Nice throw off the off-stretched arms of Cameron Clossy. Now 3rd and short again. I feel like this is going to be the game. You know, Logos is going, or Hagerman's going to continue to just slowly move, you know, to the first down marker, not, you know, get consistent big plays, just get what's needed and live to fight another down.
Oh, nothing wrong with a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, extremely manageable.
Ravencamp comes under center. Knight behind him. And Knight might have moved, but they're going to say he wasn't set. They fake the handoff, looking to throw into the flats. They find Levitt. And sniffed out there by Peter Story, the defensive tackle. Now 4th down and even longer. It's going to be 4th and 4 for Hagerman.
They were kind of trying to set up like an inside middle tunnel screen, and Logos just read it perfectly.
Another 4th down opportunity for Hagerman. Looking across the middle, finds the receiver on the slant, and Levitt converts. Another chance of moving the chains. Up to 21.
flag on the play.
And now a flag flies and a false start on Hagerman. Our officiating crew tonight from Great District 2. Some of the best you can find. Mike Tatko, Link Way, Steve Judy, Andy Aldridge, Zeke Ori, and Scott McClure. Oh, 1st and 15 for Hagerman. You go tonight on the inside zone, nothing cooking.
Brought down initially by Zane Holloway. Among others. No gain on the play. 2nd and 15.
.650, 2nd down and 15 for Hagerman and White Mavenkamp. Play action, they look into the flats, fine. Casey Knight on a quick screen, and Gideon Haney, you're right there on the tackle, and he comes up slow.
Brought down after a gain of about 6.
Hagerman just dinking and dunking down the field. And it's finding consistency. And still, like you mentioned earlier, just a ton of time left. Like more than enough time for them to come back and do this throughout the entire game.
Yeah, if you can, again, I think you just, 3 scores isn't awful, but I think if you can kind of keep it at 2 for the most part and keep battling, get a couple of stops, you leave yourself in that opportunity to cut it to 1 at any given time. So really a score here on this drive is probably extremely important for this Hagerman team.
Halfway through the first half, the second quarter. Mavenkamp on a rope looking for Levitt just off the outstretched arms. Great ball by Wyatt Mavenkamp, just too far past Jace Levitt. And that's been a learning curve. You have this group with Mavenkamp that's relatively young. They're not used to playing in these big games, and they've had the time throughout the year to mesh and bond and build that relationship, but it's not what it was last year. Last year Wyatt had a lot of good, experienced receivers to throw to, and now just a little more effort on his end to put the ball on the money. He has pressure, lots of it. Flag flies, trying to get out of it, and he's going to be brought down for a sack on 4th down. What's the flag going to be?
There is a flag on the play. Personal foul, track back. It is declined.
And a penalty on Hagerman. He's going to turn it over to Logos. So the Knights take over.
1st and 10 at their own 28.
Yeah, I remember talking to one of the assistant coaches before the Kendrick and Hagerman game about that receiving crew. They lost some studs from last year, and so they said they're really kind of just trying to find those next guys that were going to step up and mesh well with the offense, and
I think they've done that. Case and Knight's really molded into his own. Even Will Mavenkamp, Jace Levitt. As Covington still at quarterback. And he goes nowhere. Good defense by Logos. Yeah, on the bench is Joseph Sensing and Ole Sundley sitting together on the bleachers. They don't look like they're coming in anytime soon.
No, I'm going to guess they're probably out for the game. I'd be curious if that decision would change if this game was, tied or if they're down, but
that's what I was thinking. Maybe a precautionary decision
could be
for Logos not to, like you said, starting quarterback, running back. Let's not force them to get hurt if we're up 22, and you play next week against a Kamiah or a Raft River. You want to be as healthy as can be. So 2nd down and 8 for Logos. And a flag flies.
Flag on the play.
Delay game against Logos. Back them up 5.
Move the ball back to the 25-yard line.
.445 here in the first half. Second down and 14 for Logos. Haney in motion, quarterback power to the far side. And then Hagerman does a good job wrapping up.
Covington on the carry.
Gets half of it back.
31-yard line, again, 6 on the play. 3rd and 7.
It's going to be a big third down here for Hagerman. If you can stop him for a no gain or a loss right here and make it a long 4th down for Logos and try to force a punt or get some field position out of this.
3rd and 6. Covington fumbles the snap, takes off and runs, gets past the first tackle. Broken play might turn into something, gets the first down and more up to the 50 and stepped out right at the 48. Just when Hagerman has him left or right, he gets out of it. And the elusive Covington moves the chains. So new set of downs for Logos. Covington rolling out, looking to throw. Defense left. Haney wide open to the 10-5, 48-yard touchdown. Covington to Haney.
48-yard pass play.
Really well executed play by Logos, where the whole offensive line cannot go upfield more than 3 yards. And they do that, and it leaves a player wide open. And it's Gideon Haney who capitalizes on the score.
Yeah, that's precisely what that shifting and moving that Logos does all the time. What they're trying to do is just get somebody confused and forget about an assignment or miss an assignment and end up with a big touchdown.
And they get the 2 on the Covington run. So now 30-0, Logos shocking Hagerman and all of Southern Idaho.
You might be shocked about this power booster I'm about to read. Strom Electric has been serving the Palouse and Camas Prairie region since 1938, providing electrical wiring for all sizes of projects, electrical motor repair, and well pump installations. Strom Electric is licensed and insured in Washington, Idaho, and Montana. When it's time to renovate your home, business, or to install a well water pump system, call them at 208-835-2331. Strom Electric, strong supporters of local high school sports. Good luck, Logos. And the team at Erber Auto in Moscow want to wish the Knights the best of luck in the state playoffs. Fuel up like a pirate at Swenson's Market. Hot deals, fresh produce, top quality meats, and a bakery and deli worth cheering about. Right here in Hagerman, Swenson's Market. Local, loyal, and proud to back the Hagerman Pirates.
So McCool will kick off again. Have really just opened this game up and really questioning Hagerman. .330 in the first half. Cool with a nice pooch kick up the middle. Tracked down by Klossy, far side. Gets to the sideline, up to the 50 before laying the boom on one of the Knights. And good starting field position.
A quick update on Wallace and Genesee. I received a text message Wallace scored, missed the extra point. You're tied at 52 with 1:47 to go in Genesee. I bet that's an absolute barn burner.
I wouldn't have believed you if you told me.
It's playoff football at its finest.
Play action. He has a man downfield. Yes, he does. And just left it short of his younger brother, Will. And incomplete. Great play call and setup for Hagerman, and just can't convert.
You just feel like here at any time, Maven Camp's going to connect on one of those and break something open and get this Pirate team rolling. They just need to have something go their way here and get them headed in the right direction.
Knight next to Maven Camp on 2nd down and 10. Quick drop back. And just off the outreached arms of Colossi. Maven Camp and Colossi not on the same page. He was wanting him to get out quicker of his route and didn't. And now 3rd and 10, 3:15 here in the first half. Whoever wins this game will play the winner of Kamiah and Raft River. That game's happening tomorrow. It'll be covered on IdahoSports.com as well as the NFHS network. Quarterback power, no, reverse up the middle. Knight. Nowhere to go as the Knights were right there. That was a good play call. I haven't seen that before. And it didn't catch Logos off guard.
Hagerman's been faced with a mountain of 4th down.
Timeout called on the field.
Need to kick off your game day right? Bullets and Brew and Hagerman fuel up with the fresh espresso, delicious pastries, and breakfast to go. Perfect for busy mornings. Catch all the football action with great food, cold drinks, and a full selection of local brews. Guns, ammo, gifts, coffee. It's your one-stop shop for everything you need. Support the team, enjoy the game, and shop local at Bullets and Brew. Call Automotive is your choice for your complete gas and diesel auto repair. They are ASE Mastered certified and have been serving the greater Hagerman community for over a decade, bringing more than 20 years of experience with diesel and gas automobiles to the table. Come on down to 901 Rocky Road or give them a call at 208-837-4466 and let them take care of your every automotive need. Call Automotive is proud supporter of Hagerman Athletics. Go Pirates!
Fourth down and 6 for Hagerman. 2:54 in the half. Deep drop. Looking deep. Trying to find Colossi. Just went through his hands. Incomplete. And Logos takes over. Little score update for you. As Wallace had a 40-yard Hail Mary to get them down inside like the 5-yard line. They throw a fade route. And it's now 58-60 with 6 seconds left. And the 2-point conversion is upcoming. And it looks like they get the 2. And so it's 60-60, and they're going to be headed to overtime. Well, actually, I think there's 6 seconds to play, so I guess Genesee could return a kickoff. Wow, Tim, we really missed out on a game.
Yeah, we did.
Covington takes over, and the Knights, they can continue to add to this lead before the break. And this is what we talked about at the beginning of the game is if Logos can, we thought generate pressure. Maven Camp's had time.
He has, yes.
He hasn't been able to connect with his receivers. Credit to the Logos secondary.
Mm-hmm.
But, the 2 quick scores for Logos just popped Hagerman in the mouth, and they haven't been able to recover now. And we could be headed into halftime with Logos up 38-0 and Hagerman almost on their way home. So 2nd and 6. Grocky in motion. Here comes Covington, works back opposite field, and brought down.
Covington on the carry.
Now going to be third and 3.
Will Camp on the tackle.
Yeah, shout out Dean Johnson. This who's giving me the score updates. I'm getting some nice, updates right in front of us. And then I have another upset. Wallace just recovered the onside kick.
Oh, did they really? Oh, my gosh.
So I don't know if there's time left, but that's an entertaining game in itself. 3rd down and 3. They hand off. This is Honor Mallory.
Honor Mallory on the carry. Up for a 1st and 10.
Not that we're broadcasting 2 games here. I mean, I'd recommend if you're watching the game, you tune into IdahoSports.com and go watch for yourself. But 10 seconds left, 1 timeout. Wallace just got the onside kick. Has a chance to, who knows, maybe win the game.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one to tune into for a minute.
Covington takes it himself. Gets half the yards to on the down and distance. 40 seconds and counting. Logos doesn't look like a sense of urgency. And there comes the timeout. So 33 seconds left in the half. They'll take a timeout on 2nd and 5. Why don't we recognize some more supporters of both teams?
Since 1969, Kelly Oil in Buell has been the area's most trusted provider of farm and home delivery of gas, diesel, and heating oils. They can deliver in cases, buckets, drums, and even bulk. If you don't have one of their fuel cards, stop by 1313 Main Street in Buell or give them a call at 208-543-6192. All the employees at Kelly Oil wish the Hagerman boys good luck this weekend at state playoffs and congratulate them on a great season. And at Farmers Bank, they've been making life easier for families and businesses across the Magic Valley for over 100 years. Since 1917, they've been a tradition you can count on. They are proud to support the Hagerman Pirates. Check around and you'll choose Farmers Bank, and go Pirates.
So 2nd down and 5. New quarterback in for Logos. And it's caught. Covington to Sam Rigney. They sub in the JV quarterback. Doesn't matter. They go to Covington. Covington with a strike. And a 38-yard touchdown, Rigney on the board. So now with 25 seconds, they extend the lead even more. Another score update. So Wallace throws the ball, gets a 40-yard, 43-yard pass. They end up short of the goal line, but they get a face mask. Genesee has a face mask, so it's an untimed down from the 5-yard line.
Oh my!
No time left.
You can't make that up. that's crazy.
Bonkers game, just 20 minutes north of here.
But Brandon's having a heyday.
Absolutely. Into the flats, they find Haney. And Logos builds now 38-0. 25 seconds to play before we hit halftime. Getting ready for the halftime. When we get there, we'll recognize some more, plays, go over some of the stats, and maybe getting a final score update from Genesee to figure out what happens with the Genesee and Wallace game. Last update.
Yeah, if we seem a little distracted, everybody, we're the barn burner happening right now with some crazy stuff going on. So
crazy game for sure. 20 25 seconds in the half, Tim. If you're Hagerman, do you try to score? Do you put in the effort, try to throw a couple bombs deep, or do you just kneel it head to half?
You know what? I think you say, what do we got to lose at this point? Let's go try to score. Let's try to go into halftime with something positive. I think you have a very good conversation with your quarterback and say you absolutely don't throw an interception, but I think you got to go for it.
They pull the reverse to the near side. Colossi with some room and out at the 27. So Genesee and Wallace are heading to overtime. I know what we're going to be doing at halftime.
Yep.
Incomplete pass from the 5-yard line. But really the story has been just this Logos defense. The offense has played great. The offense has capitalized when they've needed to. But Logos' defense has shut down any sort of success Hagerman has wanted throughout this entire game. And that's what we figured. We thought Hagerman could score with Logos. But we weren't sure what their offense would do. But so far, neither result has happened for Hagerman. So 3 receivers split out far side. Has pressure. Lots of space. Everyone in man-to-man defense. Mavenkamp gets a block. Spun out the first down. 15 seconds roll off. Something I didn't think about, Tim, speaking back to Genesee, since I gave, Brandon my generator, I don't know if my generator has enough fuel.
For overtime. Oh, wouldn't that be
fun?
He might get one of the managers off the sideline to run downtown and grab a can of gas.
I would hope that wouldn't be something to worry about, but when you run a generator for 3 hours straight,
Well, we'll just hope it's a little more efficient than that.
Hey, there's an econ mode. Second down and short for Hagerman. 10 seconds left in the half. Maybe something tricky. Lots of pressure. Story in the face of Mavenkamp, and they come in to finish the deal. We'll head to half. Logos with the lead. It's 38-0 on top of Hagerman. Dominant first half performance from the Knights. We'll take a break, come back on IdahoSports.com on the NFHS network.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Dear crew, with an adult-sized third row, everyone's welcome. Slip in, stretch out, and let's go. Toyota, let's go places.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
Il me semble que ce matin le soleil peine à colorer le ciel. Voudrais prolonger les vacances.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear Friday, we've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guide. That's the champ of the ramp. Toyota Trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
We're back here on IdahoSports.com at Old Bengal Field on the NFHS network for the 2A quarterfinal matchup between number 3 Logos and number 6 Hagerman. Well, the home team came out strong on a 61-yard opening play touchdown from Joseph Sensing to start things off right for Logos, and since then they have cruised up 38-0 even without Joseph Sensing getting injured early in that first quarter, as well as Oli Sundley. Haven't seen him as well. They have moved and the defense has dominated, especially the defensive secondary for the Knights, not allowing Wyatt Mavenkamp to complete any pass down the field for significant gain. And putting, even the running game, Hagerman has tried the running game consistently and it just hasn't resulted in any successful gains. And now they're in the spot where they have to air it out against a Logos team that can pin their ears and really get home on Mavenkamp. So that'll be the question heading into the second half of action. Like we mentioned, if you missed any of the games prior to today, we have a triple header here at Bengal Field. First one started off with a win with Kendrick. They faced the Notice Pirates and won 80-6 to advance to their semifinal matchup. Still to be determined against Grace or Prairie. And then the second game we had was a 1A matchup between Tri-Valley and Deary, an extremely competitive game. It doesn't look like it when you see the final score. The score was 82-32, but I tell you what, it at one point was 48-32, and it felt very competitive. And then in the third and fourth quarter, Tri-Valley took over, put the clamps on, and Jace Wagner ran wild. Lots of big plays, and then this game, somewhat of the same. Tim, what's been your takeaway from this first half of action of Logos versus Hagerman?
Oh, I think the biggest thing that stands out is Logos's defense. They've really stepped up to the challenge here of controlling Wyatt Mavenkamp and Kason Knight. Keeping a 0 on the scoreboard and Maven Camp's only throwing for 64 yards, and Case and Knights only ran for 22. So, 86 total yards of offense. That's pretty big when you see some of the numbers that both Maven Camp and Knight have put up throughout the year. So, Logos's defense, like I said, it's really shined through. And then offensively for Logos, as you said, sensing with 2 early touchdowns, and then comes out with an injury. Doesn't appear that he's going to be coming back in, but Baxter Covington stepped right in, and generally he's getting touchdowns on the ground, but he's throwing for 3 passing touchdowns in this game. So coming in to fill that quarterback spot, he's doing a great job. And, I think Hagerman, they've got to come out and they've got to figure out a way to slow down the offense of Logos and get a stop. And then the biggest thing is they've got to find the end zone. They've got to get the momentum back on their side and they got to find their happy place. They got to get down there and they've got to score and loosen up a little bit. And you get a couple of quick scores, if you can get a stop, then all of a sudden things are a little bit different. You get a half a football game here. So and it's a good football team.
Yeah, no question about it. Very very solid football team, just trying to convert on the right time. I think we mentioned they're 7-3 on the year. Their only losses are Kendrick, Logos, and Raft River. Got a few minutes left till halftime, so we'll take another break and come back on IdahoSports.com.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Dear crew, with an adult-sized 3rd row, everyone's welcome. Slip in, stretch out, and let's go. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's that time again. Time to get the health insurance you need for next year. Open enrollment is the time for you to enroll in, renew, or change your coverage. At Your Health Idaho, you can save money with a tax credit on the plan that's best for you and your family. Don't wait. Open enrollment ends December 15th. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. Enroll by December 15th.
That's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Dear Friday, we've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide. That's the champ of the ramp. Toyota Trucks. Toyota. Let's go places.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
We're back here on IdahoSports.com. A few minutes left till halftime. Logos with the 38-0 lead over Hagerman. Tim, let's talk 1A football. Wallace gets the win 68-66 against a Genesee team. I cannot imagine what it's like up in Genesee right now. Just heartbreak and, running on fumes literally. Probably all the generators are. And, it's a game where Cooper Miller had 6 passing touchdowns, almost 400 yards on throwing the ball, 100 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns, and then had a receiving touchdown. Just a remarkable performance for a quarterback.
That's insane.
To put up those kind of numbers. And now they face this Tri-Valley team. I know we haven't watched a ton of Wallace or Genesee this year, but what's your outlook after just seeing Tri-Valley with your own eyes just, an hour ago?
I think Wallace has a lot of work to do. They're going to have to spend a full week of figuring out how to stop a run from 3 or 4 really good running backs. I for one was super impressed with the Tri-Valley football team. They're just a solid. They just didn't make any mistakes and very well coached, very well disciplined. I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think Wallace is going to have to play really well and be very, very prepared to face that Tri-Valley team. They're good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was my championship pick. That's who I think is going to come out of 1A, and that's a bold prediction. But, Tri-Valley, I was thoroughly impressed with that team just, a while ago. And like we mentioned, that Genesee team lost by 20 to Deary. Deary really struggled to do anything. I know you're comparing stats and scores to each other, but it just shows on paper how big Tri-Valley. I think Tri-Valley would do well at the 2A level.
I think they would. Yeah, no, I think they really would.
I mean, I don't know how it'd be. It's all hypothetical, but I'd be curious to see how a Tri-Valley team would have matched up with a Kendrick this year. I don't know, that running game so efficient.
Well, it's a 2 kind of different styles of football, and that would have been an interesting showdown.
Well, the world may never know. Third quarter. Here's the moment for Hagerman to cut back into this lead. They're going to be receiving this kickoff. And I think this is Coach Bill Hicks. This is last season. We talked about that at the beginning, against Kendrick. This is his last go-around. There's no if and buts about it. He's like, I am done after this year. And so I think if you're him, you're probably hoping you still have one more game left in you. And he's probably telling his team, his players the same thing. I want to coach one more game. I want you guys to play another game. But it has to start here in this.
Win one for the Gipper, right?
Absolutely. Has to start in this second half.
Just so you know, you can make memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $15. Just click the Download Archives button to order yours.
So Finn McCool get ready to kick this thing off. We'll see if we see Asaph Greaser and Ole Sundley, and I'll answer that question right now. I don't think we'll see them. They both look like they're on the sideline with their shoulder pads off. It'll be Cameron Clossy to get things started, and boy, oh boy, does he got breathing room. Up past the 50, switches field, still on his feet, and then finally meets a wall at the 42 and brought down.
Great return.
Logas 42-yard line.
That's the kind of momentum you want for Hagerman starting out. So we first down and 10 for Hagerman, starting off this third quarter on Logas territory. It'll be Maven Camp in the backfield all alone. Quick pass out into the flats. Has Kaysen Knight. Works past the defender up to the 34.
Pass complete to Kaysen Knight. Chase Greaser on the tackle for the Knights.
Their solid play, catch and run, and
Second and 4.
and they've done this throughout the entire game. It's been more so when we get to, second down and 5, third down and 5, then what's the play call look like when the Logos defense tightens up? Quick step drop, steps up in the pocket, finds Knight again, up to the 30, and going to be short of the first down. Flag flies, middle of the field.
Holding against the Knights is the call.
So a defensive holding on Logos is going to give a first down for Hagerman. That's what it sounds like. No, minute into the third. It's about the best start you could have for Hagerman.
They actually called it on holding on Logos.
Yeah.
I thought they said Hagerman.
Double move, corner of the end zone, and a flag flies. 15-yard defensive pass interference on the Knights. It's a 15-yard first down for Logos, or for Hagerman off the penalty.
Pass intended for Jace Levitt.
Now this should be getting Hagerman down in probably some of their better field position all night, won't it?
It definitely will.
Pass interference against the Knights is the call.
I never really like saying this, but for Hagerman, you have to score. You absolutely have to score in this drive.
You're right. You don't score. I think it takes the wind out of your sails in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because then Logos has all the momentum right now and going to march all the way back down the field.
Yeah, if there's any chance to get back in this game, you score right here.
So first and 10 from the 12. Fumbled snap, Maven Camp looking across the back of the end zone over the outstretched arms of his little brother Will. Now second and 10.
Pass is incomplete. Pickup for Will Maven Camp. Second and 10.
Quick slant route finds Levitt. right next to the 1-yard line. Mavencamp's really starting to get comfortable. O-line's doing a really good job protecting him. He has a good feel of stepping up in the pocket. A lot different quarterback than what we saw in the first half. Now, just finish the drive and all the confidence continues. They pitch it out. Kaysen Knight gets to the edge. Gets it in. Hagerman on the board.
Kaysen Knight in for a Pirate touchdown, 2-yard run.
10 minutes left in the third quarter. Hagerman gets first points of the game and has a chance for 2. Play action. Looking for the slant route again. Too far off. Comes up no good. First drive of the third goes Hagerman's way. 38-6. Logos still with a big lead.
Do you have what it takes to be a power booster for your school on IdahoSports.com? Power boosters are a great way for you and your business to be seen by tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of current and potential clients and customers. The best part, it's 100% tax deductible. Email sales at IdahoSports.com to find out more about how you can become a power booster on IdahoSports.com. With that, some power boosters Hagerman would like to thank Farmer Funeral Chapel, Hagerman Automotive, The Roof Resource, Spring Cove Ranch, Vitaglow Aesthetics and Infusions. And for Logos, Norm's Glass, Panhandle Heating, Forged Construction, Forged Excavation.
A couple score updates for you around the area. Nampa Christian in the 3A World defeats North Fremont 30-14. That's a huge upset. I don't know about upset, but North Fremont was kind of expected to have a chance and win that game. And Nampa Christian comes in, the District 3 champ, gets a huge win. Hillcrest knocks off Lakeland 35-14. So the 5A schools in North Idaho are now eliminated, as Skyline beat Sandpoint 43-35 earlier today, as Logos will take the ensuing kickoff and start out around the 44. The other score update is in the third quarter. Coeur d'Alene is up 35-0 against Madison. That's a big score. And then the other one, Twin Falls defeats Century 22-7. Century's perfect season comes to an end. The Diamondbacks, 0-15 the last 2 years, then went 8-0 to start the year. And then finally met their match against the Twin Falls team. It was pretty darn solid. So lots happening in the football landscape in the state of Idaho. Just under 10, Logos with their first drive of the second half. Ball on the ground, lots of pressure. Covington stiff arms a man. And up near the 50.
Covington and then run out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
That's another thing I've noticed a couple of times. Logos has fumbled, or they've had, Hagerman's maybe got some pressure back there onto Covington, and what would look like a 5, 6, 7 yard loss all of a sudden turns into a 3, 4, 5 yard gain. And it just seems to be, they just can't seem to corral him.
They pitch it out to Mallory, and he goes nowhere to go. Good play by the quarterback, Wyatt Mavenkamp, on the tackle for loss.
Mallory on the carry.
Well, 3rd and 8 for Logos. You're right, the broken plays for Logos have almost been more beneficial than some of the scripted ones. Quarterback keeper, Covington up the middle, first down and more, gets through the defense to the 10, all the way in. Baxter Covington. Just when you have a stop on Logos, they break it open. Another 2-point oncoming. Just under 9 minutes, and Logos with a quick score off the legs of Baxter Covington. And gets 2 more.
8:55 left in the third.
No, a 40-point lead for Logos.
5-6.
.55 left in the third. Some of our power boosters.
Kick off your game day right at Bullets and Brew in Hagerman. Fuel up with fresh espresso, delicious pastries, and breakfast to go. Perfect for any busy morning. Catch all the football action with great food, cold drinks, and a full selection of local brews. Guns, ammo, gifts, coffee. It's your one-stop shop for everything you need. Support the team, enjoy the game, and shop local at Bullets and Brew. That sounds like my kind of place.
Bullets and Brew. You can't go there. Yeah, we should go down to Hagerman. You've been to Hagerman
We've been to
before.
Hagerman, and I'll tell you what, it was a absolute amazing experience. Kendrick played down there a couple years ago, and no, it was great. They host a very neat game, and it's kind of actually made me become a kind of a Hagerman fan since then. I don't know, it was just a neat experience, and I know a lot of other Kendrick families that said the same thing. They just really enjoyed the time down there, and it was a nice town. And
well, now we know you're biased. I'm kidding.
Yeah, apparently.
No, I bet that's the hospitality. It's always great. You know, we also, Logos' hospitality just 2 weeks ago was top tier, almost as good as Kenny Hobart's this evening.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they brought us more food than we could even eat that night.
No doubt. Huge hit by Baxter Covington. He's putting himself in contention for player of the game. Rather, that was Gideon Haney. Gideon Haney, Baxter Covington all over the place tonight. Gideon Haney has a touchdown or 2. Covington with big plays. Now this Hagerman offense has to come back alive after scoring, in the last drive, then giving up this score so quickly to Covington. You have to bring the troops right back out. We're out to Levitt. Makes a quick move. And down at the 48.
Brought down at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 3.
Their third down for Hagerman. We've seen them throughout tonight. 7.5 to go in the third. Rolls out for the corner out, deflected. Good defense. Gideon Haney on the play. You know, I feel really bad. The first game that we did for Logos this year, for Kamiah Logos, Gideon Haney's roster number was listed at 24, listed as 42. And I think that's what you probably see too. And he had a huge play against Kamiah, scored a touchdown, and I had no idea who it was. It was like, this is so bad. So bad. His dad went and talked to me after the game and said, that was Gideon. I said, oh, well, my bad. Into the flats. They find Will Mavenkamp. He stretches forward for the first down. I think he got it on 4th down. And they send the chains. We said it once and I'll say it again. The field conditions look impeccable for 3 teams playing on it. Or 6 teams.
They really do. And I think that's one of the reasons maybe they, without the opportunity to play on the turf, this was the next best choice. It just field drains well, I think. It looks like it's got a good crown to it and good grass. It's really it's a beautiful field. Yeah,
really a good option to have instead of playing on your home turf. Kendrick always elects to avoid their home turf. Logos would probably do the same thing. Deary probably as well.
Yeah.
Mavenkamp looking deep, trying to find Clossy, and throws him out of bounds. Good effort by Cameron Clossy. Well, 2nd and 10. No, I talked to Bill Hicks on the way up. His son Jake, and their wives rode up together, and then everyone else rode in vans on their way up. So they took a couple vans to get up into this game instead of taking a bus.
Okay, a little more comfortable probably.
Yep, and then even last night I got a text to know where all the kids were, what hotel rooms they were at, and then I got a text earlier this morning from Coach Hicks, and he was like, yeah, I did not mean to send you that. Across the middle, Case and Knight close to the first down. That angle route for the halfback provided lots of good results for Hagerman. 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Still trailing big.
Gain of 8 on the play, 3rd and 2.
Third down and 2. Slant route to Levitt, holds on, gets the first down up past the 30. Hagerman moving the ball really well. You just think back, what could have been if the first quarter didn't happen. Still some time left. Lofting ball to Will Mavenkamp off the mark.
Just missed him.
That's
a little more air under that. Let him run underneath it. That's 6 points.
That's multiple times we've seen him overshoot his brother. You think that might be the player he's dialed in the most with. Just hasn't been able to connect tonight. They fake the pitch, they hand it off. Jonah Knapp, nowhere to go. First one there, Peter Story as well. They fake the play action, looking deep. And once more, can't find younger brother Will. And I tell you what, Will is running some really good routes. He's getting separation. He is there. And they just cannot connect. I'm not sure if Will has a catch in this game, maybe one.
And I think the one, maybe 2 catches he has have been just some short catch, maybe like a quick out or a quick a quick slant. But
he's had the opportunity, but the chance to, reel in a couple of big plays and just hasn't connected yet. So here's 4th down and 10 for Hagerman. A dig route Nothing there, looking for Jace Levitt. Logos takes over. 4:27 to play. Baxter, Covington, and the troops will come on out.
For the Knights, ball be turned over on downs, first and 10. Logos at their own 28-yard line.
Nowhere to go for Mallory.
Hunter Mallory on the carry. Adam Nelson on the tackle for the Pirates. Gain of a yard, second and 9.
Logos is going to take a little more time off in this third and fourth quarter. Under 4 to play in the third. Pulls it. Quarterback option. Has lots of good blocking. And Kaysen Knight gets off the block of Sam Rigney and gets the tackle.
Up to the 41-yard line. First and 10 for the Knights.
This time Mallory. You know, against Kendrick, Tim, we really saw the running backs have a lot of success. Honor Mallory, Ollie Sundley. They moved the ball positively the entire game. And then it was, you know, Sensing really struggled against Kendrick. He was the one taking the beating. In this game, it's almost the opposite. Covington has this next level speed that he's been able to get to the edge, have success, where the running backs haven't had a ton of success running the ball against this Hagerman front. New running back in. That's Miles Miller.
Miles Miller on the carry. Adam Nelson on the tackle for the Pirates. Gain of a couple.
2:15 to play in the third. Winner moves on to play either Kamiah or Raft River. That game will be played tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time in Malta, Idaho. Long travel day for the Cubs today. They pitch it out. That's Judah Porras. And he gets close to a first down marker and moves the chains.
Enough for a first and 10 at the Hagerman 48-yard line. They get to 47.
Miller again with the 10-yard run. And this defense for Hagerman slowly just starting to break as Logos' running game starting to find some creases and move the chains. Another 2nd and 2. Not quite a first down.
Kind of back to what you brought up. They're just kind of chipping away. You kind of expect here at any point maybe somebody's going to break it out to the outside and break another big one.
Almost a encroachment on the defense. They hand it off. That's Ace Greaser. And inside the 30. You're right. They're just kind of milking the clock in an efficient way where they're just throwing different actions at you every single time. You're not getting the same dose each play.
That just makes it so hard, especially on the linebackers, trying to figure all these different motions and who to follow. And you can just, like you said, you can just see kind of the defense starting to break down.
Pitch it out. That's Porras. He finds the edge. Brought down past the 20, and that will be maybe the end of the third quarter. 11 seconds to play. Clock stopped at the current moment. And that will do it. As we will head to the fourth. Logos with the commanding 46-6 lead. And we'll come back on IdahoSports.com.
That's the end of the third quarter score.
We're back here, fourth quarter, kicking off, first down and 10. As they hand it up the middle to Miles Miller. One more score for Logos will all but put this game out of reach, and they'll punch their ticket to next week's game. We were just talking with the athletic director for Prairie and the event coordinator, Travis Mater, trying to get a sneak peek of what's expected. Kendrick's likely to be playing in the Dome next week. Tri-Valley may be interested in coming up and playing in the Kibbe Dome with a meet in the middle game against Wallace. That's a new look that we didn't necessarily expect.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah,
I wouldn't have. That's huge if that's an opportunity they want to play it. And then the other deciding factor obviously is what does the Kamiah and Raft River game result in? As they hand it off this time to Ezra Schaefer, and Schaefer nowhere to go. Good play there by Will Maven, can't bring him down. But that brings up the question, if Kamiah wins, Kamiah likely to want to play on their home turf against Logos, muck it up a little bit, play in the mud on a cold winter night in November. And then if Raft River plays, they'd obviously want to be a part of they'll be hosting with Logos in the Kibbe Dome, and that'd be a doubleheader or triple header at the University of Idaho. So lots of situations still to be decided, but if we headed up to the Kibbe Dome, I wouldn't be upset with a warm day in the booth.
No.
Shifting going on for Logos. Covington still in the game. Works to the right. Looking to throw. Hasn't made his mind up. Gets the 15, 10, 5, and bounced out.
Baxter Covington on the carry.
Clock still won't run, even though the 40-point threshold has been met, as we're in the playoffs. Outside of this, off-ball agreement between, Kendrick and Notice, where they wanted the clock to run, which is potentially for the best. But, Hagerman wants to try to play this one out as close as possible. And they bring out the chains and send the first down.
First down. First and goal for the Knights at the 7-yard line.
10 minutes to play in the fourth. Covington pulls it, no one home. Another score for the Knights.
For a Logos touchdown, 7-yard run.
Everybody fell for the inside zone, and Baxter Covington gets it in for 2. Now lead 52-6, and pitches it out. That's Porras, and he finds his way in. Another domination drive by Logos as Hagerman has a player down, 2 down actually. And can all but look forward to next week.
Haven't been able to see who the injured player for Hagerman is yet. Looks like Kason Knight getting up a little slow.
This Hagerman team fairly young. You know, there's a handful of players that you mentioned: Jonah Knapp, Wyatt Mavenkamp, Barry Rebon. There's a couple dudes, but for the most part, you know, Cameron Clossy, he's a junior. Kason Knight's a sophomore. Will Mavenkamp's a sophomore. Xander Senarus is a junior. You know, the question becomes who comes in at quarterback next year for Hagerman.
Yeah, that for me actually it'd be kind of interesting to know who they have lined up. I'm sure they've got somebody that works there on some JV games or in practice, but big shoes to fill.
No kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think it was Will Mavenkamp, the younger brother, but they could totally be wrong. Will kind of fits the bill, you know, probably 6'3", 6'4", athletic kid. Maybe he steps into that spot. I don't know. But he, you know, they have a lot of athletes around him, and there's no doubt they can compete at a high level in the Snake River Conference next year with the likes of, you know, Valley and Oakley and Raft River. McCool will do the honors and boot it down to the 10. Special teams, a huge deal as he pins it at the 1, and he falls on it. That's called a picture-perfect kickoff.
That's a very good kick, and it's kind of a mistake there on the Hagerman returner. I think he thought it was going to roll into the end zone, take the touchback, and then he realized it wasn't. And he kind of slipped and fell on it, and not a lot of things went right for Hagerman there.
No, and Finn McCool proving to be one of the best kickers in the 2A classification. You know, him and Riley, really good kickers. Riley wrote. He looked to pass, has lots of pressure. He gets past the line of scrimmage, gets a block from a teammate, slung out of bounds, stays in, still hopping around, and up past the 20.
Wyatt Mavenkamp on the carry. Finally brought down at the 22-yard line, first and 10 for the Pirates.
9:20 to play in the fourth. Hagerman spreads out. They split the defense. They're looking for Levitt. Lots of contact, and Levitt can't
Pass is incomplete.
get footing.
Intended for Jace Levitt. Miles Miller on the coverage for,
And now 2nd and 10.
Ezra Schaefer on the cover for the Knights.
Yeah, tomorrow's game will be interesting with Kamei and Raft River. Kamei, a really explosive team. Hagerman, or Raft River, traditionally a pretty power-run offense. And that will be, and the travel. Kamei's first long trip down south in quite some time. How could that play a factor into it? As they go in reverse, ball's on the ground. No one can hold on to it. And Colossi lets it roll. So now...
That travel thing always comes in. I mean, you get down in that part of the state. It's from up here. It's a long trip, no matter which way you go. And you get down there, you're unfamiliar area. You're sleeping in a bed you haven't slept in before, and I think that always it's an advantage for the team that doesn't have to go that far. Right? Almost every time I feel, but Kamei, a good football team, and I'm sure they'll be ready to roll.
Yeah, really a question. So Hagerman takes a timeout on the field. 8:34 left in the ball game. Logos with the commanding 54-6 lead.
Call Automotive is your choice for your complete gas and diesel auto repair. They are ASE Master Certified and have been serving the greater Hagerman community for over a decade, bringing more than 20 years of experience with diesel and gas automobiles to the table. Come on down to 901 Rocky Road or give them a call at 208-837-4466 and let them take care of your every automotive need. Call Automotive is a proud supporter of Hagerman Athletics. Go Pirates. Fuel up like a pirate at Swenson's Market. Hot deals, fresh produce, top quality meats, and a bakery and deli worth cheering about. Right here in Hagerman, Swenson's Market. Local, loyal, and proud to back the Hagerman Pirates.
3rd down and 15 for Hagerman coming out of the timeout. Overload look for Hagerman. Mavenkamp on a dime stops and can't hold on. Jace Levitt flag flies late. Mavenkamp's just been off in some aspects of this game. You know that sign?
I believe an illegal shift.
I can see it.
Legal shift. Decline. 4th down.
Good thing you know your football rules.
I might have got lucky.
Eight and a half to go. If there was a play of the game, this would be the one. Everyone looking deep. Long hitch route to Cameron Clossy, and it's caught. Not too often do you see a 20-yard hitch, and it pays off. Mavenkamp directing traffic. And it's almost caught by Jace Levitt. Can't hold on.
Well, that's just been the story for Hagerman all game, Hayden. We talked about it earlier, and Every chance they get, they get these receivers out and with a step on the defensive back, and they just can't connect.
Yeah, there has been countless opportunities for Hagerman and just have not been able to, cash one in. And that kind of feels like this, this defining moment of this team against the Hagermans and Kendricks of the world, of just not being able to compete when it matters most. So now 2nd down and 10. They're looking for Klossy this time. Now, Hagerman at this point is going 4 verticals and just letting everyone run. And, if there is one bright spot that at least I've taken away from this game for Hagerman, their offensive line has played, in my opinion, great.
100%.
He has had so much time. There's been times, obviously, where you have a little bit of pressure, but it's nothing compared to what we saw versus Kendrick and what we saw versus Logos the first time. They have done such a good job keeping him, upright. Into the flats. That's Klossy. He dives forward just short of the first.
Well, and I'm trying to remember the number, but Logos, I think, sacked Maven Camp 10 times in that first matchup, and I don't know that has he been sacked one time tonight? Maybe on a run, So yeah, to what you're saying, huge improvement to this Hagerman offensive line.
100%, yeah. It was a game where Peter Story had 7 sacks.
Jeez.
Sorry, I take that back. 7. 4 sacks. Joshua Prince had 4 as well, and then 10 as a team. Just all around great effort from Logos' defense, and their offensive line tonight. Hagerman's has done just a stand-up job keeping Maven Camp clean. And it's, instead of the front 7 for, I guess it's not front 7, but front 5 for Logos making a huge impact on this game, it's been the back 3.
Yeah.
Those back 3-4 defenders have just been in the face of receivers the entire night, and they're struggling to convert as Logos takes over on offense. See how well we can figure out some of the players maybe now subbed in. See how if they kept some of the varsity kids with 7 to play.
Yeah, a lot of the kids out there right now, I don't have a roster for. I think it's their JV squad that they don't normally list on their varsity roster.
Yeah, there's a couple that I'll try to figure out on the fly. Under 6:30. We'll see if Pat Oldhouse, the PA announcer, will help us out here. 2nd down and 12 for Logos, 6.5 to play. Across the middle, it's caught by Ezra Schaefer up to the 15.
First and 10.
All right, I have breaking news. I don't know if it's breaking news. So at QB1 right now is Henry Driscoll.
Okay.
Now, if you've heard the Driscoll name before in the Logos area, you're going to have a pretty good idea who that may be. Yeah, as Porras cuts inside, now back out. And back out.
Yeah, younger brother to former player Jack Driscoll.
Yeah,
he was a phenomenal football player for Logos and continuing his football career at now the name just escaped, but he's playing collegiate football
in the Midwest.
In the Midwest, yep. His dad Ed's gonna be mad at me because I can't remember it, but
yeah, he has,
I've talked to Ed a couple of times, and sounds like he's having some success and getting further up the depth chart in that quarterback roster at the college.
Driscoll hands it off to Miller.
Miles Miller on the carry.
No, 3rd down and 1 for Logos with 4:40. So, you know, that's a future to look forward to is, you know, Henry Driscoll. Because Joseph Sensing, a senior, would Driscoll be the one stepping in at the 11-man level next year to lead the Knights? High snap and a mess from the start. Miles Miller falls on it. Now fourth and long for Logos.
Going to be 4th and about 6 for the Knights.
Be interesting to see how Ole Sundley and Joseph Sensing are heading into next week's games. With losing those two early in the first quarter as they're bundled up with each other right next on the
trying to
on
stay
the
warm.
bleachers. Yeah, staying warm on this cold night. See how those two are throughout the week. We'll try to get a hold of Coach Holloway, find that out as Driscoll pitches it out to Porras. Porras just stepped out. Because it could be a game where Logos heads back to down to a town they're familiar with in Kamei and takes on a Cubs team that already beat them this year, 22-20 in a wild football game early in the season. Or they could be in a match against Raft River, another team from the Snake River Conference, on and in their own backyard playing in the Kibbe Dome. That's another luxury for Logos. Take a nice 5-minute drive up to the dome. 3:30 to play in the ball game. One more time. Miller can't get there.
Miles Miller on the carry. Up the middle. Adam Nelson on the tackle for the Pirates.
Brings up second and goal. After this, we will recognize our IdahoSports.com player of the game and wrap up this ball game and maybe look forward to next week and what's on the potential table in the 2A and 1A classifications. Driscoll pitches it out, finds Porras. And Judah Porras finds the end zone.
Logos touchdown, 3-yard run.
Now 60-6. As its temperature's starting to drop a little bit.
It is, yep.
Driscoll motions a man. Rolls out. Off back shoulder. Off back foot. Can't find him. And with 2:45 to play, Logos leads 60-6 against the Hagerman Pirates and well on their way to a semifinal appearance. So in the 1A world, you will have Council at the top of the bracket and still to be determined Quarter Christ and Deer and Cary. That'll be deciding the top half. And then the bottom half, it's already been settled. It's Tri-Valley and Wallace. There's a chance Tri-Valley comes up to the Kibbe Dome and plays against Wallace there, or it'll be played in Cambridge. And then the 2A bracket, Kendrick's already punched their ticket versus Notice. Grace is up 27-8 against the Prairie Pirates. And Logos has punched their ticket. So they'll be all waiting on Kamiai from tomorrow. Kamiai and Raft River to determine who is going to be playing and where the game is going to be played on the bottom half of the bracket. McCool one last time. Hops into the hands of Cameron Colossi. Stays on his feet and then brought down inside the 30.
Well, maybe for the last time tonight, I'd like to again recognize Strom Electric. Been serving the Palouse and Camas Prairie region since 1938, providing electrical wiring for all sizes of projects, electrical motor repair and well pump installations. Strom Electric is licensed and insured in Washington, Idaho, and Montana. When it's time to renovate your home, business, or to install a well water pump system, call them at 208-835-2331. Strom Electric, strong supporters of local high school sports. Good luck, Logos. And the team at Erber Auto in Moscow want to wish the Knights the best of luck in the state playoffs.
Maven Camp finds the receiver. It's his brother Will. Then gains 6.
Pass is complete to Will right down at the 35-yard line.
2:20 to play.
Second and the long 3.
Potentially the last drive for Wyatt Mavenkamp in his historic 4-year career as a quarterback for Hagerman. As they try a hook and ladder, and it was completed. Unfortunately, Bear Reben was already down. Great effort, though. They should have let it play out.
Could have made for a play of the game.
100%.
No, as this game kind of winds down, as you said, kind of the historic career for Wyatt Mavenkamp. You kind of hope a kid like that maybe he can leave here tonight, maybe he can still throw one more touchdown and have a little.
As that one looks to be caught right at the 20. Looks like Jace Levitt on the reception. So one last throw for Mavenkamp at least results in a big gain. So 1:15 to play for Hagerman. Back of the end zone looking for Levitt off the fingertips. Great defense there by Oliver Shaw of the Knights.
Oliver Shaw on the coverage for the Knights.
Mavenkamp under pressure, evades it. Steps up, putting on the moves. And finally brought down just past the line of scrimmage.
I like that little move from him to escape the rush right there. It looked like he was just going to stop and get hit, and he just kind of stopped and sidestepped and real nonchalantly avoided a tackle.
As Hagerman takes timeout with 45 seconds to play.
20-yard line for the Pirates.
So a couple last plays before we wrap up our triple header here at Old Bengal Field. Still great hospitality here. You know, everyone says it's Old Bengal Field, but I tell you what, Old Bengal Field's a heck of a lot better than some of everyone's current fields.
Yeah, it is.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Hagerman coming out of the timeout.
Third down for the Pirates.
Camp rolling out, takes it himself, spinning off a defender, up to the 1st down, then finally brought down.
Keeper. Timeout Pirates.
And another timeout taken by Hagerman, looking for one last score on the evening. And we'll take one quick timeout as well. Get one more Idaho Traffic Department safety in before we wrap up our player of the game.
Every time that we get in the car, number 1, buckle up. Number 2, no phones. And number 3, pay attention to your surroundings.
If I got in the car with my friends, I would definitely tell them to put their seatbelts on. I want to be able to get back home safely.
Okay. Welcome back. 31 seconds to play. As when we wrap up, we'll recognize our IdahoSports.com player of the game and bring you their final stats of the evening.
4th and short for the Pirates.
No, 4th and a short one. Maven Camp in the gun. Goes under center. Takes it on the quarterback sneak. Gets the 1st down. Dragging defenders. Inside the 5.
3-yard line. 1st and goal.
Clock stops for the time being. On it one more time. Drops back to pass. Looking into the out route. Looking for a receiver. Official falls down. And deemed incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. 2nd and goal.
So now 2nd down and goal.
Moves the ball back to the 7-yard line.
17 seconds to play. Maven Camp under center at the current moment. Takes it, drops back. Across the middle, finds Will Maven Camp. And Hagerman with the last score.
Well, that's Wyatt's last touchdown pass of his high school career. How fitting to give it to his brother.
Absolutely there. About 7 yards out. Wyatt to Will Maven Camp. Looking to run. Maven Camp hurdles a man and gets the 2. So Hagerman gets the 2 points. And Logos leads 60-14 with 13 seconds to play. Like you mentioned, last play for Wyatt Maven Camp. Touchdown pass to his younger brother Will, a passing of the torch.
Well put.
Hagerman getting ready to kick this ball off. Logos will all but kneel it out.
Good half to kick off for the Pirates. Back down.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.